Hello everyone and welcome back to Sundays in the Garden. If you're new here, my name is Sarah and on this channel in 2025 I am sharing every single day of a gardener's year. The majority of those days will be spent here in my home cottage garden and kitchen garden area. If I'm not here, I may be visiting gardens around the country, and if I am away, then I'll be sharing things like books, magazines, my thoughts on gardening and everything else that makes up this gardener's year. We're back to Sunday again today, and today is Sunday the 9th of February. A job I really need to get on top of today is to prune the remainder of my climbing roses over on the fence near the pond. So that is what I'm going to be getting up to today. Let me know in the comments what jobs you're getting up to this February, and without further ado, let's get started on those roses. So I've got some gloves, secateurs, and some string to tie in any loose stems. And the first thing I notice is there are some dead stems here. So I'm just going to cut those as close to the plant as I can. And that's the first thing I'm going to do with this particular plant, is look for any dead twiggy stems. So I've cut back all of the dead twiggy stems, and now I'm going to just bring the whole plant down back to the level of the fence. Here are some things to consider when pruning your climbing roses. Start at one side and work your way across, removing any weak or crossing stems to open up the framework. Cut side shoots back to the main stem by 2 to 3 inches. As I said earlier, remove any dead or brown sections and then tie in any new stems, and come summer these roses should be looking spectacular. This is the finished result, and I cannot wait until our climbing roses are looking like this again. But for now, we tidy up. Hello everyone and happy Monday. I am using my 15 minutes today to head to B&Q, the benefits of living in a town, to see if I can pick up some turmeric and some ginger. Helen Likes Plants over on Instagram has inspired me to have a look in B&Q for these things, because we use a lot of turmeric and ginger in our cooking. So if I can get these things growing this year, it will be a great win for the garden. Helen's picked hers up from B&Q and she's going to give it a go this year. So I am going to do the same, and I'll share with you all how I get on. Let's go and see if we can find some. So unfortunately they didn't have any turmeric, but I did manage to pick up some ginger, which is great, and I'll see if I can source some turmeric from somewhere else to add to our collection. I don't know if you're like me, but when I go into a garden centre I often come out with more than what I planned, and I picked up some more snowdrops in the green because I'm trying to build our snowdrop collection year on year. So I'm going to add these to the spring bulb border, and hopefully next year I'll be enjoying these snowdrops along with all of our other ones. So I've picked those up, and now it's time to head home to my family to continue an afternoon of home education followed by an evening of teaching. I've been out for slightly longer than 15 minutes, but still very much within my lunch break. So it's been a really worthwhile use of my lunch break today. February is an important time to start thinking about those nesting birds. If you're thinking about putting a nesting box up in your garden, then there are a few things to consider. Blue tits, great tits and house sparrows prefer a nest box with a small hole cut at the top between 25 and 32 millimeters wide. Placing the nest box between 2 and 4 meters above the ground, either on a tree trunk or the side of a house, is perfect for these species. In contrast, robins prefer an open nest box and they want to be much closer to the ground, so between 1 and 2 metres above the ground with some foliage around them is perfect for robins. There's actually a nest up here just about my head height in this ivy, and it's an old nest kind of falling apart and it's not intact anymore, but it shows the height that robins do like to nest at. So I'm going to pop this nest box at the same height as the nest here on this shed. This shed belongs to our next door neighbour, but they actually bought me these nest boxes for Christmas and said it's fine to attach the nest box to the side of the shed. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. I've got a nice long nail to keep it nice and secure on the side of the shed, and now I'm going to attach it. This nest box is facing north, and it's best to position nest boxes facing either north or east to help to protect them from the worst of any weather. And that's another February job complete. Let's hope one of our robin pairs decides to make this nest box their home this spring. On this Wednesday lunchtime, it was time to build up our snowdrop collection in the spring border with these Galanthus snowdrops I picked up in B&Q on Monday. First, I positioned the snowdrops in any gaps in the border and then dug them into position. As I've said before, building up your collections a little more each year really does make all the difference over time, and I know that these snowdrops are going to provide delight for many years to come. Is it perfect? No, but progress over perfection. Okay, so as you will have just seen, the spring bulb area is looking really lovely, the hellebore area is looking really lovely, and this area, which does look beautiful in the summer, is looking like it needs some attention. I've not done any cutting back until now, so there's plenty of place for bugs and creatures to hide, but things are starting to grow again now, and down here there are lots of new shoots coming through on these plants, so it does need to be cut back now, ready for the new growing season. Plus I have some lovely spring bulbs down here which I can't see because they're hidden underneath all of this old and dead growth. What I will do though is pile up all of the things that I've cut off and place them at the back of the border so bugs and critters have got somewhere to go and hide and keep warm in the next few weeks. First, I cut back all of those dead twiggy annuals, and then I went round all of my perennials and cut them to about a foot above the ground to give them plenty of space to grow in this new growing season. Before I knew it, my 15 minutes was again up this lunchtime, so I picked up all of my offcuts and put them over by the fence to give the critters a place to keep cosy for these last few cold weeks of winter. Hi guys, and happy Friday. I'm back out here in the greenhouse today with the intention of sowing some more broad beans. So I've got my red epicures and my Bunyard's exhibition because a few of them are being munched. Most of them are doing okay up in the bed, but I'm going to just sow a few more as some replacements in case any more come under attack. So with the broad beans, I don't have to take them back in the house because obviously the ones I've got out here germinated in November, so they can germinate in quite cold conditions. So fingers crossed, if I sow them here in the greenhouse, they should germinate in here just fine. So I've filled some pots with compost. I have watered the compost so that I can see how much is in there. So now I'm going to put 3 of the red epicurean and 3 of the Gardener'S exhibition. 1, 2, 3 Gardener'S exhibitions. One, 2, 3. Red epicure. And that's done. Another great use of my 15 minutes this lunchtime. And then we went on a family walk, and this happened. Hello everyone and happy Saturday. We are actually off up north today to visit some friends who are celebrating their little girl's birthday. So I just want to get a few jobs done to make sure everything continues to tick over nicely while we're away. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure all of these seedlings have plenty of water to see them through until we're back home tomorrow evening. Then it was outside to feed the birds to make sure they had enough food while we were away. And then my lovely mum gave me this beautiful Gardener'S snowdrop when I met up with her yesterday. So I popped out in the garden and made sure I got it in the ground so it wasn't stuck in its pot while we were away. And then finally it was off to the greenhouse to check how everything's doing in here and give everything a little water to keep it going while we're away. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video today, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again next time for another episode of A Gardener's Year.